Carter Gooden is a top 247 recruit, a high 4-star, and if Boston College lands him, he would be the biggest commitment in Boston College recent history.
You are Locked On Boston College, your daily podcast on the Boston College Eagles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Locked On Boston College, your team every day. I am your host, AJ Black of Eagle Insider. I've been covering Boston College for over a decade. I've been a fan for a lot longer, and I know this team inside and out. If you're looking for insight, analysis, and much more, you can't get anything better than a 5-day-a-week podcast, a daily Boston College podcast that gives you everything you need to know about your Boston College Eagles. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Today, use your Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. This is a historic weekend for Boston College football, as one of the biggest targets Boston College has ever really had a good chance at getting is going to be on campus for his official visit. We are going to talk about Carter Gooden, how he could change the defense, how he would be a monumental get for Boston College, and what I predict out of our Fab Four. And if you're an everydayer and have listened to me talk about this, you know who the Fab Four are. Now, Carter Gooden is a top 247 recruit. That means he's in the top 247 recruits in the country. In fact, he is a 4-star and the number 70 recruit in the entire country. He has offers from everywhere, from Penn State to Michigan State to Michigan to UCLA, Arizona State. Everyone wants Carter Gooden services. And right now, Boston College is in great shape to land a local commit that could really make a impact on this defense. Now, Carter, you may be like, what? Wait, why? Why would BC have a good chance? Well, it's key number one for BC football. And what is that? Relationships. BC is in this still because Jonathan DiBiaso, the quarterbacks coach who recruits the New England area, has been the lead recruiter. He has now Jordan Thomas working with him on that. He's the defensive lines coach. And the two of them have really formed a good bond with Carter Gooden, who is at Tabor Academy in Reading and is originally from Canada. Now, Carter Gooden, when you're looking at just numbers, go back 20 years, you are not going to find a recruit with a higher recruiting ranking than Carter Gooden. You could go back to Brian Toll, but I'm going to feel old here. That's older than 20 years now. And you look at some of the more recent guys, Ozzie Trapillo, Drew Kendall, CJ Burton. These 4-stars were not as highly ranked as Gooden. This would be the creme de la resistance of Bill O'Brien really rebuilding Boston College recruiting in the New England area. He has made it his priority to get in this area and get the recruits that he wants. And he's done an amazing job so far, whether it's Mac Fitzgerald or Brady Beckenhuis or Jackson Tucker. Like, there's a lot of good recruits given that full year that he's been able to land. But you're getting into that difficult part where you have an elite recruit. That's what Carter Gooden is. He is as blue chip as it gets. And he is considering Boston College. He's taken multiple visits. You know, the staff has seen him. They have a good relationship with their coach, Jeff Moore. This is where you close it out. If they close this out, this would be game-changing for Boston College football. Because this is the type of recruit that Jeff Hafley couldn't land, that Steve Adazio could land. And gosh darn it, Frank Spaziani definitely could not have landed those types of recruits. And the fact that he's in your own backyard, that shows you that things are changing at Boston College. He is the perfect fit for Bill O'Brien's defense. He is the perfect way to show that recruiting has changed at BC. I can go and show you all the guys that BC has landed, but you land a Carter Gooden, That is the centerpiece of what Bill O'Brien has talked about. That he wants certain guys that fit what Boston College is doing, and he wants to keep them home. Gooden has shown that he's interested at staying local. He took an official. He's going to take an official visit this weekend. The fact that you even got to this point, many fans out there never thought this would happen, and that shows you that Bill O'Brien is right there. And I feel confident that BC is in fact right there. That this is not just a pity official visit. Some people would say that this is just, him doing a favor. That this is serious, folks. That Carter Gooden, the number 70 recruit in the country, would actually consider and is really considering Boston College. He is. And I got to make sure that you guys all understand that. He is BC is very much in the talk for this. And if you land him, the talks of, yes, you lost on Christian Wilkins and Ryan Puglisi, but you know what? Carter Gooden is right there. He is right there in terms of rankings. And he is showing that you're no longer an afterthought in the Massachusetts and New England area. You're a serious contender. We've seen it happen with Boston College. Marek Jin, Mac Fitzgerald. I know he's the son of a coach, but they've landed a bunch of local recruits. But Carter Gooden is the what you're reaching for to get this recruiting to that level. I have said all along that I think Bill O'Brien is a better coach and a better program manager than Fran Brown of Syracuse. I've said that all along. I think Bill O'Brien is much more, it is what it is, and less smoke and mirrors than what Fran Brown is. But Fran Brown has done a little bit better recruiting. But if BC lands Carter Gooden, all bets are off. This is a recruit that Syracuse can't land. This is a recruit that Rutgers hasn't landed. Carter Gooden would be that guy. Now, you have your official visit. BC needs to seal the deal here. If you're a BC fan, what you need to be hoping for is on Friday or Saturday night or Sunday morning. He may wait a little bit. The grand and exit would be, you see Spencer Dickow, the general manager. He tweets out, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got him." That would be the way to end this official visit season. If you know going into 4th of July weekend that you have Carter Gooden, that would be tremendous. Now, this segment is just from a recruiting standpoint. He would be that big. That would be such a big get for Boston College. In a moment, I want to tell you why Carter Gooden as a player would be absolutely critical for 2026 and beyond, because this is an incredible player that you need to get. I'll explain why in just a moment. There's nothing like the NBA playoffs. The intensity, the buzzer beaters, the fans losing their minds is the kind of atmosphere you must experience live. And this year's matchups are already delivering. If you want in, Game Time makes it fast and easy to get seats, even for the biggest playoff games. Prices on the app actually drop closer to tip-off. And with killer last-minute deals, panoramic seat views, and no surprise fees, Game Time is a total game changer. Now, I had a alumni friend of Boston College, my wife's friend who went to BC. Now, her and her child wanted to come with us to go to the Woo Sox. I could not find tickets enough for our two families to go together. But you know where I found it? On Game Time. Got the tickets, got where I wanted, and got it at a good price. It was amazing. I could see my exact view before I buy with no surprises. Now, I can't recommend them enough. You need to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. That's Locked On College. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. This is Locked On Boston College. I am your host, AJ Black. Thank you all who have made Locked On Boston College your first listen every single morning, whether you're using it to work out. And if I get you hit your fitness goals, I'm doing my job right. Or if you're using it to clean your house, do dishes, thank you so much for making Locked On Boston College part of your daily routine. Now, we're talking about Carter Gooden, and he is the most important recruit in this class. I could tell you Marky Walbridge, Femi Babalola, there's other players out there that are very good that you want to get, but Carter Gooden is really that important. And the reason I get to this is because he not only is he a highly rated recruit, someone local, and I know he's from Canada originally, but he's local right now, a local high school, Tabor Academy. His position in this, the ability that he shows is something Boston College desperately needs. I mean, I wish he was here right now. He's an edge rusher. He is an excellent pass defender and good pass rusher. He is a good run defender. And you just lost Donovan Ezeraku, I don't want to say generational talent, but pretty darn close to it. One of your best defensive players that you've ever had. You've had your Luke Kuechly's and a few others that have been really good. He's an All-American. The banner's up in Fish Field right now, but you lost him. You lost your 16 and a half sacks. You look at the 2025 roster, and I've said this all along. To be honest, the 16 and a half sacks is not there. You're going to, pick and choose, and I trust Tim Lewis. He's going to be able to find a way to get a pass rush, whether it's, simulated blitzes or whatever he does that's going to work. But who is going to be your next big edge rusher? It could be Mason Leak. It could be Dom Funk. Or it could be Carter Gooden. What better way to bridge the gap between Donovan Ezeraku, you'll have a season off, to Carter Gooden? Your next big pass rusher is there. This is the guy that you can build your defense around. This is a guy that can continue the legacy of Boston College. You look at some of the guys that are there, and you're hoping that a Jason Flint or a Josiah Griffin or, some of these younger players that you have are going to pan out, and that's fine. Jaden Fry could definitely be that next guy. But I look at Carter Gooden as almost as close to a sure thing as you can get. Like, right out of the box, you're talking a potential true freshman that could start for you, that could take one of those edge rushing spots and play immediately. That is such a key that Boston College could offer for him. Like, you could go to UCLA or you could go to Michigan State, but you might have to sit for 2 years before you play. At BC, this is a position right now. You have a good up-and-coming positional coach in Jordan Thomas, a wise and very good veteran defensive coordinator in Tim Lewis that could coach you up now and get you on the field early. Like, if Carter Gooden's goal is to get on the field early, Boston College can give that to him right away, and it would benefit BC because you read the scouting reports on Carter Gooden. Read what they are saying about this kid, and you're seeing a recruit that is absolutely blowing up now. Like, he's becoming a national name. Penn State wants him, Michigan State wants him, UCLA wants him. Like, this is the guy that clearly has shown that he can do what elite edge rushers can do. And Boston College could absolutely use a player like this. This would be one of those recruits that just changes how everything else fills into your recruiting class. Dom Funk is a great get. I am so happy that Dom Funk committed to BC. Mason Leak was a massive find for the staff. Carter Gooden is one that's already been exposed as someone who a lot of teams want. You close on that and get a guy that you can bring in. All of a sudden, a position that you have question marks right now becomes a position where you are excited for the future. Just think about this. Just think about what this defense could look like. You have top 247 recruit Mason Leak on one edge rush. You have top 247, top 100 recruit Carter Gooden on the other. And if one of them doesn't pan, if you need a third one or one of them does, if he does better, you got Dom Funk. A lot of folks are very excited about Dom Funk too, as they should be, because Dom Funk is very good. Those three, and all of them are local, could redefine your defense. And so that's why I want to see Carter Gooden here. Why you have other edge rushers that you've looked at, whether it's Prim Fox or Logan Nagel. Yeah, I'd love to see them too, but Carter Gooden is that one. He's that guy. He's him. Isn't that what the kids say? Him. He's him. That's what he is. Carter Gooden is him. And I think he's a perfect fit for Boston College. Now it's up to the staff. Can they close this deal? Can they get him to commit? It's his final official visit. Hopefully everything's. He's coming this weekend, from everything I've heard. He's heading to UNC the middle of this week to see Bill Belichick. Then it's on to Bill O'Brien. Can O'Brien close this one? We're gonna have to wait to see. It's going to be an exciting one. I think this is going to be the biggest story of this week. Carter Gooden, will he come to Boston College? We'll have to find out. In our final segment, I want to get into the Fab Four. If you're an everydayer, you know who I'm talking about and what I'm predicting for this Fab Four going into this final week. I'll explain who they are in case you missed it and what my predictions are in just a moment. Welcome back. This is Locked On Boston College, your team every day. I'm your host, AJ Black. Now, if this is your first time listening to this, I want to challenge you to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're looking for a second listen, let me tell you about Locked On College Football. If you want a national perspective of all the big news going on, including the House settlement and everything else going around there, check out Spencer McLaughlin and Locked On College Football. It's on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, this whole episode has been about Carter Gooden, an edge rusher from Tabor Academy, originally from Canada, who's looking at schools like Michigan State and UCLA. There is I have made the term the Fab Four. There are four recruits that I really think are absolutely critical for BC going into this group, this final week. It's Carter Gooden. He's number one. Additionally, Marky Walbridge of St. Sebastian's, another offensive lineman. He's number two. Number three is Kai Pritchard, an offensive lineman from Donovan Catholic, and I think it's Jersey City or Toms River, New Jersey. And number four, Femi Babalola, quarterback from Ravenwood, Tennessee. Those are my Fab Four. And two of those four are coming this weekend. Femi Babalola and Carter Gooden. Now, folks have been asking me. They want to know, AJ, what is your predictions for these four? And I'm not going to say they're going to land all four because I don't think that's going to happen. What do I predict? Okay. I'm going to say this right now. I have not put a crystal ball in for any of these four guys. And I won't be because I can't get a full read on any of them at this point. But I do have a good vibe on the four of them. And here's where I stand. I think they're going to land two of the four. And I think that's okay. I think that's still very good. You want to get at least two of these four that really would add to your class. And so you're asking yourself, AJ, which four are you going to get? So let's start it off. I'll tell you the two I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get Kai Pritchard. I don't. I've heard buzz, and the internet buzz is for Illinois. I think that's where he's going to end up. I think Illinois, Big Ten money, they've been there all along. I think there's a good connection there. I'm going to go with Illinois for Kai Pritchard. And that's a bummer. I thought that BC's done a good job with him. I thought Matt Applebaum has done a good job recruiting him. Just tough get. And if you want to go down that same road, I feel more confident that Kai is probably going to end up in Illinois. The other one I don't think they're going to land is Marky. I call it a gut, call it just intuition based off of a crystal ball from about a month and a half ago. I think he's going to end up at Michigan. That's just kind of where I'm at with that. I'm not 100% sure. With Marky, I think it's really important to say that no one knows what the heck is going on with him. I saw Alabama 247 doing a recap of their weekend. And on their recap was like, and we don't really know what's going on with Marky Walbridge. We've had a hard time connecting him. Welcome to the club. No one knows what's going on with Marky Walbridge. Just call it a gut. I think Michigan might be the go-to there. And that would, the part of that stinks is that BC would strike out on their 2 offensive linemen. That being said, they have 4 offensive linemen already committed to BC. So it's not like they're going in with nothing. They could go and find, if Kai and Marky don't end up at BC, they could end up with, I don't know, Charlie I'm guessing Penn State for him, but maybe they find another 5th target to look at. Those are my 2. That gets the negative news out of the way. Now, looking at the good news, who could Boston College land? And I think 2 of the 4, I think BC's in good shape. 1, Femi Babalola. I still feel BC's the leader here. He's checked out Maryland. He's checked out Arizona. He probably is going to take a midweek visit this week before it all closes down, but he ends at BC. His relationship, I think, is very strong with Jonathan DiBiase, the quarterback's coach. I think he's looked around. I think at the end, he's going to realize once he ends his trip that Boston College is the place to go. And yes, BC has another quarterback commitment in DJ Bordeaux, but I think they're going to make Femi feel special. I think they're going to make Femi feel like this is his home, and I think BC will close it. They've had the longest relationship with him. They've been on him before anyone else. Remember, Femi Babalola had a great camp this year, but before that, he wasn't even a starter last year. So a lot of schools hadn't really shown interest. And you guys were in my comment section saying stuff like this. Why is BC going after? Well, now he's blown up. I think BC will still be involved, and I think they're going to land him. That's my first prediction. My second prediction is on Carter Gooden. I think this is going to be the biggest surprise. I think BC is going to land him. I think this is going to be the recruiting moment for Bill O'Brien that's going to show that, yes, he has indeed changed the outlook of BC football. And again, who's going to be at the head of this? It's their BC's new ace recruiter. It's Jonathan DiBiase. He is Carter Gooden's head recruiter. Jordan Thomas is also playing a valuable part of this. But I think that's going to close. And I think that will be your jewel of this class and really put BC into that next tier that they really should get into. So there you go. I'm predicting Kai and Marky, probably not BC. And I think Carter Gooden, Femi Babalola will end up at BC. That's my Fab Four. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Hit me up in the comment section. I want to hear what you have to say. Some of you, I know some of you really don't agree with a lot of what I have to say, and I appreciate that. I don't care. I don't care if you agree with me or you hate me. It's fine. I can take it. But I want to hear what you have to say. Thank you all who have listened. Thank you all who are subscribers to our Locked On BC YouTube channel or wherever you get podcasts. Follow me on Twitter at AJBlack247. And I hope to see you all again tomorrow for another episode of Locked On Boston College. Your team every day.